I do not want to die before passing everything I have learned to my colleagues. And I'm so happy that they can now do almost everything I do, but do it better as well, which is fantastic. They are generating knowledge themselves now because it's a continuous process. Our foundation has very definite objectives and the mission statement to offer the very best treatment to people and societies who are underprivileged. Apart from that, it's to train people to continue this effort in a sustainable fashion. And we have systems of knowledge dissemination, starting from a journal which is published by our foundation called Global Cardiology, Science and Practice. And we have meetings regularly, and we have workshops where we invite people and show them everything we're doing. And they come from all over Egypt, but from the region, and far we have people coming from Japan or Central Africa or the US. I am a very ordinary individual, and if I have done it, anybody can do it. How? Very simple, by pursuing three things. One is passion, and that's essential, that I love what I do, and I do what I love. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to persist in what you're doing. Keep at it, keep at it. And the last, almost more important, is to be humble. Because if you think you are it, you're finished. Talk to anybody from common people to royalty, to anybody. Everybody is equal. But in science, in particular, it is absolutely essential to be humble. Every time you discover something and you think, wow, this is the top, you find that the top is much higher, and what you have discovered begs 6 other questions. The research is a very important element in terms of discovering new things for the future. And the research has different aspects to it, starting from disease-based, because in Egypt, but also in Africa and in many countries, there are genetic as well as accumulation of inflammatory diseases of the heart, like rheumatic heart disease, as well as diseases of overdeveloped world, like coronary heart disease, hypertension, and heart attacks and all that. We have a population-based study following a whole community consisting of 28,000 people for hopefully 20 years to see what affects them, what problems they have, and importantly, how to deal with it. In our center, we have relatively well-developed breakthroughs. One is the tissue-engineered living valve, which is starting from a polymeric valve, which is not living, but actually attracts all the cells. It is amazing what it's doing, and that's very exciting indeed, to offer to humanity a valve which improves quality of life, so you live longer and you live a happier life. The other one is recovery or reversing heart failure. Heart failure is a dreadful epidemic affecting so many people, and we had the biggest heart transplant center in the world, so we know how severe heart failure can be incapacitating, but it can be reversed by heart transplantation for 36 years or more. But there are other strategies using left ventricular assist devices with drugs to reverse heart failure. There is so much pain and suffering in communities through no fault of their own, which needs to be addressed. And most of the discoveries which is happening in the developed world actually does not reach 80% of the population of the world. Our foundation needs to address that incredible inequality. Following the experience with the Chain of Hope and then the Aswan Heart Center, there was a proof of concept that we can offer the very best treatment which can be offered anywhere in the world to the underprivileged group of people. So that encouraged us to expand. Aswan Heart Center drained people from all over Egypt, but also from Africa. So that's why we moved to Cairo. It's 5 times as big as Aswan. The hospital and our foundation are totally dedicated to the concept of excellence. And to apply it to a large hospital could be daunting, but daunting it might be. We're going to do it. We think it will be finished in March or April of 2024. At the same time, I have to say, there is an equally exciting project in Rwanda, in Kigali, in Central Africa, where we're having a whole campus to a population who have been neglected for so long, suffered from the genocide, but now deserve to be looked after. And it is right in the center of Black Africa. Everything we have is free at entry. We have been challenged about that many times by saying, how can that be sustainable? Shouldn't you have an income? Many times we think of that, while some of our supporters say it is not entirely for free, because we do not differentiate between the poor and the rich, and many rich people have complex diseases which need to be treated at our hospital, and then they pay for 20, 30 patients, and therefore it becomes sustainable. But we are against the idea of sending bills. Why? Because we think that once you have a 2-tier hospital, then you lose the confidence of the rest of the population. We are all the same, but we are also all different. And each one of us has a talent. What is the talent? Sometimes it's very difficult to find, what do I really love? My advice, spend time more in finding what you really want to do and what's the talent. And if you know that, it follows that you will have the passion, and the rest is easy.